Hello, my beautiful patrons. How are you today? It's Thursday, best day of the week. And it's a beautiful sunny day. It's finally the summer is here, hopefully to stay. I don't know. Now today's word of the day is maybe a little bit related to religion, because in general religions are about sort of being sorry for things, right? Sorry for having original sin, sorry for one of the foundations of religion is to be sorry about a lot of things. And so the word of the day is contrite. It's an adjective, and so a contrite person is a person who is sorry for doing something, but especially for committing a sin. The noun is contrition, but so, maybe if you, I don't know, what's something bad that's against religion that people do every day?
Against religion?
That people do every day? Well, everything pretty much.
What about
like maybe if you...
adultery?
People don't do adultery every day.
No, but some people do.
Okay, imagine if you commit adultery.
Or if you steal.
If you have commit adultery or you steal,
Lie,
and then
lie.
yeah, lying is not. But is that a sin? I'm not sure.
It is.
Okay, so if you lie, which is something people do every day, even if it's a little white lie, then you have to be contrite and be sorry about that. And it actually, what's interesting is this trite part here, try, is actually also the origin of the verb to try to do something. And it comes from the Latin terere, which actually means to rub. Terere means to rub. So it means to sort of, and con means to bring something together. You bring things together and you rub them. Because when you rub something, okay, you are separating the one thing from another. So in the past, if you had flour, not flour like smelling Valentine's Day flowers, but flour to make a cake flour, you have to pass it through the sieve, you have to rub it, you have to terere the flour. So it's this idea of separating something, right? So what you're doing is you're separating the good things from the bad things. You're saying, I'm sorry about this thing that I did. I'm sorry. I'm separating it from myself. So it's about separation. So and also you could be contrite. You could be contrite in a negative way, right? That you can say, oh, he's so contrite, which is like he's always apologizing for everything, but maybe in like a false way, because if you apologize too much, it's not good either. So yeah, maybe you can celebrate some acts of contrition this week. If you go to church or something. Which reminds me of a joke. What is a Muslim's favorite insect? Mosquito. Mosquito. A mosquito. Okay, so this. I'm sorry. The second thing I wanted to talk about was this research paper. Okay, it's called Skype Me. Socially contingent interactions help toddlers learn language. So what they did was, previous research had proven that if children watch television, they don't learn language. Nada, zero, right? So you can put your child in front of Peppa Pig, but they're not going to learn to speak English, right? And these researchers, they wanted to know why. Is it because it's a screen, like it's two-dimensional, and their eyes can't, or is it another reason? Like, what's the reason? So what they did was, they had 3 groups of children. The first group was with a human, and they had a conversation. They tried to teach them new verbs that they invented, okay? So the verbs, for example, were blicking, twilling, frepping, and meeping. Now these verbs don't exist in English, and they used these verbs to eliminate the possibility that the child already knew the verbs, right? So they invented 4 verbs: blicking, twilling, frepping, and meeping. So the first group was with an adult, and they learnt the verbs. The second group watched a video on a television screen where they learnt the verbs. And the third group, they had a conversation on the television screen, but with Skype. So it was like an interactive conversation, not just watching the video. And guess what they discovered? That the human being and the Skype conversation were about the same. They learnt the verbs in the same way. And the children who only watched the screen didn't learn anything. So it shows that it's not actually because of the screen, it's because you have to have the conversation. And I think it's just like, it's something that's so amazing to me in the world of language teaching, that, you know, I don't think you don't need to be a scientist or a linguist to sort of use your common sense and say, well, duh. Like, of course it makes sense. Of course you have to have that interaction. Of course you have to do that basic stuff. And I don't know why this is not, you know, more, people don't understand this more. It's amazing to me. Maybe it's the idea that people want, you know, the easy way, right? People want this magic formula to learn a language without all of that hard work. I don't know. Well, anyway, this weekend, be contrite, but not too contrite, and have a conversation. And yeah, tomorrow's Friday, which is also a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye.